Hello shooters, I'm Dr. Tactical, and today I want to share with you some information that hopefully will prevent you from making some of the same mistakes that I've made. Mistakes ranging from suppressors or silencers, that's right, both terms are correct, ranging from that to marital mistakes. In fact, let's start with the marital mistakes. A couple months ago I did this video on the ultimate wife gun, and what inspired that video was a very serious mistake that I made over 20 years ago, back when Mrs. Tactical and I were just dating. She wasn't Mrs. Tactical yet. And we were driving by a gun range, and I said, hey, would you like to try shooting? And she said yes, because we weren't married yet. So she said yes to lots of things. So we went into the range, and I realized when we got in there, the only gun I had on me was a Glock 27. Now, many of you are thinking to yourselves, that is a wildly inappropriate choice for a first-time shooter. And you are not wrong. It was a really poor choice because it is a small gun that shoots a heavy caliber, 40 Smith & Wesson. So there's, the smaller the gun is, really the more kick it has. We're talking about guns here. So that's not something you put in a first-timer's hands normally, but it's what I had on me, and I wanted to, strike while the iron was hot. She was willing to come in and do this. And I wasn't smart enough to think, well, hey, I should maybe rent a gun from the place, which, by the way, is my recommendation now in retrospect. So her first shot, she fired, the gun went up. Second shot, she inadvertently pulled the trigger, I believe, and hit the ceiling, put the gun down, walked away, hadn't shot for over 20 years. So, again, the inspiration for this video was to bring her back into the fold. How do I get her back in? What gun's appropriate for her? So I decided on a 22. I went out and I got a 22, the SIG P322. Really nice gun, reasonable capacity, good size. I'm not looking for a small 22. I'm looking for something that's not going to kick a lot. And then I went out and got her the Silencerco Sparrow silencer or suppressor. I figured this will help tame the noise because the noise bothers her too. And we went to the range and it did exactly what I wanted it to do. She didn't fall in love with it, but she didn't put it down and walk away either. She was willing to take several shots, and I think a little bit of her enjoyed herself. So why do I want Mrs. Tactical to shoot? I want her to shoot because, first of all, I like shooting. And if she wants to go shoot, that's more shooting I get to do. Second of all, I want another shooter in the house. God forbid there's a situation that arises. The more people on my team who have guns and know how to use them, the better. Something happens to me, I want to know that she can take care of herself and take care of me. So that's one reason, or two reasons, I guess. Anyway, that reason, the defensive reason, kind of leaned on me a little bit. I thought about it. I'm like, 22 long rifle is not a great round for self-defense. Now, it's better than a sharp stick, but still, if she's going to be shooting, I'm starting to win her over. What can I get her to? 9mm, I still think she wasn't ready for. So I thought 22 Magnum, right? Let's step it up. 22 Magnum is actually no slouch. It's a decent round for self-defense. It's still a rim fire, so you have to worry about the reliability. But nonetheless, I thought this is appropriate. So we went to the range with two guns and our Sparrow, and we had an incident. And I'm going to talk about that. And there's a reason that I also have up here, not just the Silencerco Sparrow, I have the Huxwrx Flow 22 Titanium. These are two suppressors that are in the same realm. They really both do very similar things. And we're going to talk about the similarities, the differences, and my experience with them. Let's get into it. I'm Dr. Tactical, and the doctor will see you now. Welcome back to the channel. And those of you who are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. I hope you like what you see, and if you do, please hit that like button. It lets other people know that well, that you liked what you saw. Also, by all means, please hit the subscribe button. If you hit the subscribe button, it gives you the opportunity to hit the notification bell. And if you hit the notification bell, you will be notified when more highly entertaining and educational content like this is being released. So hit that subscribe button right now while you can. Go ahead, I'll wait a sec. Okay, now back to the show. So let's take a look at what I consider sort of kind of to be the ultimate wife gun right now. This is the Walther WMP. So this is a large frame gun that shoots a 22 Magnum, or a 22 WMR, which stands for Winchester Magnum Rimfire. So I'll be calling it 22 Magnum the rest of the video, but I just want you to know I know what 22 WMR is, for those of you in the comments who are already typing that. Anyway, it's got nice texture on it. It's got a great grip. It's just a full-size gun, and because it's such a big gun, it really handles nicely, especially since we're only shooting a 22 Magnum, or WMR, out of this thing. So this, I decided, was a great choice. The 22 Magnum has an acceptable power output. Not ideal. I'd like to see her step it up a little bit, but for right now, she's comfortable with the 22, and the 22 Magnum in this gun handles really, really nicely. Minimal kick, minimal recoil. The negatives are it's loud as shit. It is a really loud round. That's one. The other is rimfire is not super reliable. So when you're doing semi-auto with a rimfire, you got to be concerned with that. Now, some of you are like, Dr. Tactical, why not get her a 22 WMR or Magnum in a revolver? Well, you can't silence or suppress a revolver. So that's really important. The sound is more important. I think the sound actually may be more important to her than the reliability. I think she'd rather pull the gun and have it just go click. At least that click would be quiet. So anyway, noise really bothers her. So that's the rationale. Anyway, so we had this gun with well, first I had on it the Sparrow, the Silencerco Sparrow. Really nice, small footprint, relatively inexpensive silencer, and it shot on the P322 really nicely. It did not shoot on the 22 Magnum very nicely. So let me tell you what happened. I handed it to her. I wanted her to be the first to shoot it once, and she was shooting, and she's like, something's hitting me in the face. I said, what are you talking about? So I took the gun and I shot a couple times, and really on the first shot, I felt it. There's unburnt powder that comes blowing back at you through this, using the Sparrow. And it's the gases backing up. That's how a suppressor works. It has all these couplers, and it holds onto the gas, but there's a lot more blowback. It's a lot harder on the gun. And it's also harder on the shooter if you've got stuff coming back into your face. Usually it's just gases, but in this case it was actually unburnt powder that was hitting her. Now think about that. The reason that I want a suppressor on a home defense gun, and I, by the way, am a huge advocate for suppressors on all your home defense guns, or mine at least, and the rationale is this. If I'm going to shoot in a self-defense situation, I don't want to lose my situational awareness. I'm not going to assume that there's only one individual that's broken into the home or is a threat. I have to assume there's multiple, and I don't want to take a shot and be out of the fight just because I can't hear for a couple minutes afterwards. So I think having a suppressor makes a lot of sense on your home defense gun. So, because the truth is, I'm not going to throw ear pro on because I hear noises somewhere in the house, because that also may take me out of the equation. Even with the electronic ear pro, it's just too inconvenient and it's going to slow me down. I want to grab a gun and go. Chances are I'm not going to have eye pro either, if I'm waking up and hear something. So if I have got powder coming back into my face that could get into my eyes, that's really that can really be damaging and can really take you out of the fight. So that's a serious problem that this burn is coming back. The powder's coming back, unburnt powder. So I thought about this. I'm like, what can I do? How can I fix this? I thought I was so smart that I came up with this great gun, this Walther with the Sparrow. So I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? I should get a flow-through suppressor. I've never had a flow-through suppressor, but I've seen them. I understand they're not quite as quiet. That's what I've been told. But they have these little holes at the end, and what happens is you've got the internal part that sends the gases all over the place and slows the whole process down, so it's not loud. Also, then allows the gases to exit through the front of the silencer or suppressor, and that should keep stuff from coming back in my face. All right. Well, first, let me show you, back when the Sparrow was on it, I did a little something known as the DoctorTactical powder blowback test. And what it entails is you take a sticker, a big sticker. In this case, it was a Target that had a sticker. And you pull it back, and you mount it. In my case, I mounted it to a tripod. And you shoot the gun in front of it and see what sticks to it. See what powder comes back, because that's what's going to hit you in the face. So I did that first with the Sparrow to see what happened. And you know what happened? It got powder in it, and I could see it on there. So then I figured, let's now try that with the Flow, the Huxwrx. This is the titanium version of the Flow 22. So let's see how that handles it. So I did the DoctorTactical powder blowback test, and guess what? It blew back again. I got powder coming back into my face. I got powder that came back onto the sticker that evidenced what exactly was happening. So this is a problem. I'm like, how do I fix this? I don't know what to do. So I reached out to Walther, and I sent them an email, and I said, I recently purchased a WMP with a threaded barrel, as well as a Silencerco Sparrow suppressor. I have experienced an inordinate level of particulate blowback. The gun is brand new, and it was clean prior to its first use. The problem was noted immediately and did not improve over time. A variety of ammunition was tried, but to no avail. This gun was purchased with the primary purpose to serve as a self-defense gun for my wife, who is recoil and sound sensitive. This gun does address those concerns, but now she is particles flying back in her face sensitive. How can we solve this problem? I look forward to hearing from you. And I received an email back from Mason. He's with customer service for Walther Arms, and he said, there is no solution to particulate flying back when using the WMP suppressed. That is an unfortunate reality when using a 22 WMR semi-auto pistol with a suppressor. The suppressor multiplies the excess gas back out of the barrel along with the unburnt powder and lead. So the take home here is 22 WMR is not an appropriate round to suppress in a semi-auto pistol. It probably, I haven't tried this, but it probably would work fine in a rifle. And clearly you can't suppress a revolver, so that's out. So unfortunately, not a good choice for what I wanted. So learn from me. fine for a 22 long rifle, not appropriate for WMR unless you have iPro. And the other take-home message, don't put a small gun in your wife's hands. And that's not a euphemism. I mean it. Don't put a small gun, especially with a large caliber, in your wife's hands, or girlfriend's for that matter. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. I'm Dr. Tactical. Hit the subscribe button. Dr. Tactical, out.